In the 1950s, racial segregation was deeply entrenched in the American South. Jim Crow laws enforced separate facilities for black and white citizens, from schools to buses. A young Martin Luther King Jr. witnessed these injustices daily, including whites-only signs and systemic discrimination. This environment shaped his resolve to fight for equality. By 1954, the Brown v. Board of Education ruling declared school segregation unconstitutional, but resistance remained fierce, setting the stage for King's activism. King's education at Morehouse College, Crozer Theological Seminary, and Boston University exposed him to philosophies of social justice. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's success with nonviolent resistance in India, King adapted these principles to the civil rights movement. He believed love and moral force could dismantle oppression. By 1954, as pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, he began merging Christian teachings with Gandhian tactics, laying the groundwork for his leadership in the Montgomery Bus Boycott. On December 1, 1955, Rosa Parks' arrest for refusing to give up her bus seat sparked the Montgomery Bus Boycott. King, then 26, was elected to lead the protest, which lasted 381 days. Black citizens carpooled or walked miles to work, crippling the bus system. In 1956, the Supreme Court ruled bus segregation unconstitutional. This victory propelled King to national prominence and established nonviolent protest as a powerful tool for change. In 1957, King co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, to coordinate nonviolent resistance across the South. The SCLC trained activists in peaceful protest tactics and mobilized black churches, which served as hubs for organizing. With the slogan, "Not one hair of one head of one person should be harmed," the SCLC emphasized moral discipline. This structure amplified local efforts into a national movement, setting the stage for larger campaigns like Birmingham and Selma. In 1963, the SCLC's Birmingham campaign targeted one of the most segregated cities in America. Peaceful marchers faced police dogs, fire hoses, and arrests. King's letter from Birmingham jail, written after his arrest, defended civil disobedience as a moral duty against unjust laws. Media coverage of the violence shocked the nation, swaying public opinion. The campaign's success forced desegregation in Birmingham and paved the way for the Civil Rights Act of 1964. On August 28, 1963, over 250,000 people joined the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. At the Lincoln Memorial, King delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech, envisioning racial harmony. The march pressured Congress to pass the Civil Rights Act, banning discrimination. King's words, "Free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last," echoed globally, cementing his status as the movement's moral voice. In 1965, Selma, Alabama, became a battleground for voting rights. On Bloody Sunday, state troopers brutally attacked 600 peaceful marchers on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Televised violence horrified the nation, prompting President Johnson to introduce the Voting Rights Act. King later led a successful 54-mile march to Montgomery, where he declared, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." The act was passed months later, outlawing discriminatory voting practices. In 1964, at age 35, King became the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate for combating racial inequality through nonviolence. His Oslo acceptance speech highlighted the interconnectedness of justice. Man must evolve for all human conflict, a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The award validated the civil rights movement internationally and pressured the U.S. to address systemic racism, reinforcing King's belief in global solidarity. In 1966, King expanded the movement to Chicago, tackling northern segregation and poverty. Marches for fair housing faced violent white mobs, revealing racism's national scope. Though the campaign achieved limited policy gains, it underscored economic inequality as a civil rights issue. King's shift toward economic justice foreshadowed his final crusade, the Poor People's Campaign, demanding jobs and universal basic income for all Americans. On April 3, 1968, King delivered his final speech in Memphis, supporting striking sanitation workers. "I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land." The next day, he was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel. Riots erupted nationwide, but his vision endured. The Civil Rights Act of 1968, banning housing discrimination, passed days later. Today, his words and tactics inspire global movements, proving nonviolence can transform society.